What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is your basic preview of Brutus Beefcake Hall of Fame. This new character comes with a lot of different tricks. So, in this video, no gear whatsoever, and I will not be using his plate for the initial builds, though I will show you what that looks like if you get the plate. So Brutus is a Hall of Fame era character, as you would expect, and he is an aggressive trickster. He has the Hall of Fame link with 4 more MP, and he has 2 gears that will show off in another video. If you have the first gear, doesn't matter if it's silver or gold, your trap gems will do 75% more damage, and if you have the second gear, all color moves will start with 4 more MP. So that's a huge buff. He definitely benefits from having both gears. On the coaching side, at 26k, green moves that deal damage will do 30% more damage, and moves that generate green gems will create 3 more green gems. So he is just 5% better than your 25% move damage coach, and he does also generate green gems. So that's a trainer ability we've been wanting back. So good interesting coach right there, I would say. On the moves, we are going to start first and foremost with what I think is probably the go-to moveset. There's other good ones, so keep watching, but this is the one that most are going to focus in on. I'm going to run it with his own plate, and then I'm also going to run it with the baddest jacket. But on the bottom, we have the Body Slam, a black 6-charge move that deals a bit of damage and increases your black gem damage by 136% for 1 turn. Don't do it before the sub. The sub in the middle, sleeper hold there, 7 MP black move, color submission, choose 10 gems to make into purple submission gems that do 196,533 damage for 3 turns while submission gems are on the board, and remaining submission gems turn into trap gems. Those trap gems, if broken by the opponent, deal 80,400 damage and increase your black gem damage by 30% for 2 turns. Does not affect bonus damage, and if broken by you, deals 11166 repeating damage and make 4 random gems black. So similar to Dakota Kai, kind of in that way. And then on the top, the full Nelson Slam deals some damage and chooses 4 rows to make into trap gems. If broken by your opponent, deal 80,400 damage and increase your black gem damage again by 30% for 2 turns. Does not affect bonus damage. If broken by you, deal 11116 repeating damage and make 4 random gems black. That's a lot of bonus damage for black. Without gear, you are going to need your black MP trainer here. So we do have Woods on there for that. Once we show the with gear separate video version, you don't necessarily have to have him on there to be loaded in every mode. Then we've got King Shinsuke for black gems do 12k more damage. You've got Zombie Edge for black gems do 12k more damage. And we have Acro Steamboat for trap gems do 50% more damage, and moves that generate traps will create 1 more. If you don't watch the gear preview, then you would want to put a trap gem or black gem damage in the place of the MP trainer. But for this one, this is what we've got. On the strap, this is the preview strap, which is 30% gem damage. And then I do have your Double Fury 2, and I do have my final medal right here is doing 26 additional percent damage. This one we are running without any plates. I will show you a version that runs the baddest jacket, which is a little more common, and then of course the Brutus plate that he is designed for, that the plate is there for. So let's see how he does with this moveset with this setup. All right, we are on the road against Sami Zayn. You don't want to throw out your body slam first. It only buffs for 1 turn. It would not be reloaded this way. So you want to throw out your sleeper hold first, and you need to make sure you match at least 4 of them so that the full Nelson slam is set. You could do 3 because technically you'll have another turn after this, but either way, want to make sure that we have at least a set charged, and then put them where there's already purple, if possible, and then just anywhere you think you can get away with not, it's going to be brutal, not breaking them, because you don't want them, as many of them as possible, to be not broken, right? So that loaded our move. He's breaking a lot of our trap gems, but they aren't trap gems yet because they're subs. So now, here's where the magic happens, right? So we're going to do this body slam, which will now increase our black gemage by 136%. So before that, we're at 52,000 currently. Then we add this in the mix. Kaboom, right? Now they are at 123,000 per black gem. Plus you have your trap gem here that you're likely to break, and I'll show you how and why. So then you're going to throw down the full Nelson slam. You want to put it somewhere where you can break a few of them. Like, it's going to make a lot of black gems, so you could put it here and then on that one, but you also want to break as few of your other trap gems as possible. So something like that will work out. No, it won't, because I'm not putting a full row. Look at you. Now, something like that will work out. We only have 3 of the other ones, but it's going to work out because you're going to go like this, and then the entire board is going to turn black. Boom, boom, boom. That is 12 million damage, unadjusted for plates or even having your additional trainer on there. So let me show you that same move set, but with an added trick. All right, we're going to run the same exact move set, only this time we're going to use the basic plate, the baddest jacket. Whenever you generate 3 or more submission gems, increase your yellow and black gem damage by 100% for 2 turns. I will show you it with the Barber's Blades plate as well, and on here they haven't inserted the description yet, but it's whenever you make 6 or more trap gems, increase your black gem damage by 75% for 1 turn. If you're keeping count, 2 turns of 100% is greater than 1 turn of 75%. So the baddest jacket would actually hit harder than the Barber's Blades. But I digress. Let's see it in action. Same setup as we did before. Do not hit that one. Go ahead and go straight into the sub, which is going to get your baddest jacket going. And then try and overwrite purple gems that are existing in there. And when you cannot make purple gems anymore, try and spread them out as much as possible. I'll make a little 4-pack here in the corner. We'll see what happens with that. Our purple purple move is ready to go. And we have a few trap gems out there, more than we had last time. So once again now, we are starting at 66,000 instead of the 54 we had before. And now we're going to buff them with your move. And your black gems now go up to 157,000 each. You're going to lay down your trap gems, keeping in mind that you want to break 1 set wherever they are. So, for example, if I were to do this, that gets 2 of them, and try not to overwrite too many of... let's see. Yeah, try not to overwrite too many of your other traps. We're going to make this swipe right here. It's going to make the whole board black. Last time we did 12 million. Let's see what this one does with the baddest jacket in place. That's a lot of cascades. I love it. 17 million turn 1 on a 6 bronze. That is pretty amazingly good. Let's see it with the Brutus plate just one time though. Same process as what we did before. We're starting out with our 52,000 on the black gems. The Brutus plate is when you make trap gems. So the only way, and I don't think it would actually work, but I'll say it just in case, the only way that you could proc the Brutus plate twice would be if it counts doing these subs, and if 6 of them stayed around, I think that's less likely, let's just say here, because we're already, actually 6 of them did. Well, let's experiment, guys. It did not. So sub proc to the Brutus plate, confirm, does not work. So we're going to buff the gems with this. Now we are looking at 123, and then we do the trap gems, which will proc the Brutus plate. And we have actually a lot of them out. Unfortunately, we're going to overwrite a number of these, and there's not really a way around that, but that's okay. So now instead of, we're doing 148. So you were at 158, give or take, with the Baddest Jacket. They're similar, but Baddest Jacket still wins. So let's see what our final damage total is once it does this. Kaboom, kaboom. Good amount of cascades again, so that seems like it's all things being equal. 17.5. So roughly similar end results, but either way, almost 20 million. Turn 1, cycle 1. That's pretty darn good. Let's see what else he could do. Your second moveset is primarily a boss battle moveset. I'll show you why on the road, but I don't see a reason why you're going to run this in just your tours when you can do so much damage with the previous moveset. But this is a great boss battle build, and so what you have is your belly to back suplex, which deals damage and chooses 6 gems to make into black gems. And you'll notice that this has the countdown logo on it. It's not right. That'll get changed. And then you've got the big boot, which is also a 6 MP green move, deals damage and chooses 6 to make into snowfall gems, which will make everything below it into trap gems. When they are broken by you, then, if the trap gem is broken by your opponent, you steal health, and if broken by you, you deal 142,933 damage. And then to top all that off, you have your black 6 MP move, the running single high leg knee strike, which deals damage, but more importantly chooses a 4x6 area to swap into green gems. Let me show you what this does. So the way you run this one is pretty straightforward. You put your snowfalls down, and you can choose 6 of them, which is going to be a problem for boss battle because it's choose, right? It doesn't automatically do it, but you're going to put them on the top because why wouldn't you? And then you're going to put your black gems on the top to break all of those, which also loads your next move. You're going to, yep, that's fine. You're going to break that top row. Now, most of the board is trap gems. So when I say boss battle, trap gems plus green gems, this is your guy, right? This is your guy. So then you're going to go in with the running single leg high knee, and you're going to connect it to as many green gems as you possibly can. It's going to blow up that area, which is going to eat into his health, but in tests, it's only doing about, just like that, 5 million damage. He broke some, so that heals us up, steals a little bit of health, but that's really about it. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat. So you're doing 5 million per. You're laying down a ton of trap gems. So if it's Stipulation Tour, Extreme Rules, Boss Battle, where it's green and trap gem combination, yeah, this is going to be amazing. But overall, you're just not doing the damage that you did on the other one, even without the special tricks. So, yeah, as far as your trainers go, you can put a bunch of steel health guys on there, but he's not breaking a ton of them. You're breaking most of them. So it would be your green trainer, your green coach, and then getting started loaded on your green moves. And that's it. Really think that's more of like a special build, though. Let's see one last build. The last moveset we're going to look at is the triple purple. On the bottom, the running clothesline, a 6 MP purple move, deals damage and chooses a 4x1 area into purple gems. The 7 MP full Nelson slam deals damage, chooses 4 rows to make into trap gems. That's the one we saw before. And then if broken by you, then you deal damage and make 4 gems black. But if damaged by your opponent, then it increases your black gem damage. But we're going to focus on purple gems, and you'll see why as we get into it, because the finisher, deal damage and increase your purple gem damage by 120% for 1 turn, and then immediately deal damage and make 34 trap gems into purple. So this is your purple and trap. Again, stipulations, boss battles, extreme rules, anything like that that requires those. But this one actually might be viable, to consider as opposed to his other moveset. Maybe. On your entourage, you're going to want to do anything you can to buff up purple. So without gear, you're going to need your purple woods on there so that you start more moves. And then you can throw on your zombie Drew for purple gems, do 12k more damage. Tech Gunther would be one if you have your gear especially, then you could replace purple woods, and he does increase your purple gem, or your purple MP, but also does purple gem damage. And then you've got... I'm about to call them Hall of Fame Ray. You've got Motu Ray for purple gems do 12k more damage, and I've got Cody on there for purple gems do 30% more damage. But the main thing is just make sure your purple moves are loaded, at least in particular the first move because it reloads the others, and then as much purple gem damage as possible. I'm not going to do anything special with the plates on this one, and his plate in particular buffs black gem damage. So while we may hit a little bit on the black gems, I do still have that on there, but it's not doing anything for the purple gems, just to be clear. So let's check this one out. All right, with this setup, we do start with 2 of the moves loaded. However, this one may not be loaded in all modes. That's why this one's here. But you've got 7 out of 10 on the atomic drop. In other modes, you would see it be 5 or 6 out of 10, most likely. So you do a 4x1 area to swap into purple gems. If possible, break your row on top or something that's less likely to cascade. It's still cascaded. Will be okay. So now you throw out your trap gems, and you're going to put them wherever you like because it's going to break them all. But you do want to kind of think about where your purple gems are and hitting the most amount of purple gems possible. So we'll start with that. And then you're going to get your finisher. And your finisher is going to buff your purple gems by 120%. So right now, your purple gems are at 61,000. So that's going to go up by 120%. Then it's going to turn 34 trap gems purple. So pretty much what we laid out is going to turn purple, and it's going to end your turn. So purple on trap gems, and then anything broken left over will make some black. That's 5.3 million damage. Again, good move set. Everything reloads flawlessly, so you're never going to have issues there. Boss battle, stipulation tours, for your purple, and extreme rules. This is a fantastic setup. However, it just doesn't touch that first move set. That first move set really is the sweet spot, I think. So 5 million a turn with either of the other 2 move sets, but 12 to 18 million with the first move set. So yeah, that's where you want to be. This was the non-gear version, and then we're going to switch over to Rusty and I talking about the character for a little bit, but also be sure to check out the geared version video, which will come out soon.
What's up, WWE Champions? We're hanging and talking about Hall of Fame, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, one of my favorite childhood wrestlers. And
Same.
Yeah. Before we dive into the chat about the gameplay, obviously you've just watched it. We've been working hard on this. I'm so glad they included like the lore, meaning they got the shears right. They integrated it into the plate, and they made the sleeper hold like the glue that binds the superstar together, just like right. Brutus would have done in the ring. Any thoughts on post gameplay or just how happy or excited you are how this superstar came out?
Yeah, I mean, this is one where I feel like to really be great, he needs a couple of his tricks. The gears especially help. With Neidhart, the thing I appreciated was that the gear you really need is the first gear. The second gear is just icing, whereas with Brutus, to really make him hit, the second gear is what you need. So, in terms
Oh,
of that setup, I love the idea. I wish they would reverse and keep it going, where the first gear is what makes them powerful, and then the second gear just takes them over the top. But my goodness, I mean, without this is the without gear version right here. He was still hitting 17 million, so it's not like it's not like it's bad. I mean, you could do 12 to 17 million with a 6-star bronze. That means you're doing over 20 million with a 6 silver. Yeah, that's amazing. So even without the gear, he is powerful, very powerful. Really one move set, but that you're going to run with. But the fact that
right.
he's versatile, and I think you're going to talk about why that versatility matters.
Well, more important to me than the gear, as someone who rarely has the gear, is
Right.
that his moves recycle and refill. That you can, you're creating the purple color sub gems and refilling those moves in most of the different ways that you use them. I know you ran several different move sets. Regardless
Right.
of the move set, his MP stayed full
Right.
throughout the gameplay. Which
Right.
so then you get into like, is he usable for feud? Is he gonna is he gonna frustrate me in showdown? Is he gonna so like I think the first thing we look for in a superstar is either low MP, low as possible, or self-filling kind of
Right.
cascading moves one into the other, where you see that the moves are actually designed, there's a synergy to them, and they fill your MP and keep you going. And
Right.
hitting 20 million, a few months ago we would have been mind blown at totally
Right.
like, yes, this is OP.
Right.
Of course, since then, now there's a trickster though, right? So it's not a powerhouse.
Right.
So we're not. I don't know. I think we have to adjust our expectations on some level, not to expect every superstar to be OP powerhouse Bronson Reed 40 million
Right.
turn one, and especially what we've talked through so many times, embracing versatility as a value, which Brutus has to the max.
Right.
Versatility. Um, we're starting to see over and over with a boss battle is a format that is here to stay and a format that matters, and yet so many of our best superstars do maybe one or two things. And if
Right.
those one, so like maybe they make blue gems or maybe they make countdown gems.
Right.
Well, if countdown is minus 100 and blue is negative percent damage, well then you're like, I can't use my best acro.
Right.
Brutus has a real staying factor in that he can make three different colors shield gem, or gems that break a shield of three different
Right.
colors. Grayson Waller was
And
the
a
same
lot of
way.
them.
That
Yeah.
was my favorite thing about Grayson Waller, is that he could make green, he could make black, he could make yellow. And yet with Mr. Ed Leslie here, the booty man, we're seeing him make a ton of black, a ton of purple,
Yep.
make a whole section
Green.
green.
Yeah.
Um,
Plus the
that's
trap gems on every single move set. There's a trap gem
yeah,
built, and a lot of them. Even the
yeah,
green snowfall move set, which I think is probably the lesser of the three for most people, for a
right.
specific stip tour, boss battle, or extreme rules setup, where maybe
Yeah,
that's going to benefit you. Like that covers it. And I keep saying stip tour in this video, and people are going, why are you talking about stip tour? Like, well, if you're still chasing not Hall of Fame Undertaker, if you're still chasing the Undertaker that is in the marquee stip tour shop,
Like
Like
me.
maybe you get lucky and get Brutus, but you don't really have, one of the other colors to max out the stip tour. Well, now he's got half of the color spectrum covered just in
Yeah.
this one character that you can guaranteed beat your stip tours. Plus, if you're talking extreme rules, we've seen them show up a little more. I know at first people were like, "Oh, these," but whatever. It's new and it diversifies the gameplay, and you have
Right.
to think. You got to plan around who can do this. Well, if it's trap gems, Brutus is your guy, right? I mean, he's just your
What?
guy. There's few
Yeah.
others that are putting out that many.
And the other thing it does is you're able to customize a superstar's gameplay to the entourage that you have. A
Right.
great example is I don't have a purple gym coach, so I
Right.
don't know that I would get max play value out of the triple purple moveset you showed.
Right.
But I do have both green coach and trainer. So
Right.
like maybe uniquely the plates I have and the entourage I have, that's where you can, I think that's where you can really see, like, do I want to chase this superstar? Do I want to spend for this superstar? Will he hit hard on my roster with what I own? And I think Brutus checks a lot of boxes for me. Like
Yep.
that's kind of where my conclusion on Brutus is, like, maybe the most flexible Hall of Fame superstar we've seen. I, I think
Certainly among them. Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, also super flexible.
Right.
But I love that. That's so good. Great development stuff. So, final
Absolutely.
thoughts on the Brutai?
Well, I think it continues to be this month that the Hall of Fame characters are really bringing value, and the fact that as we record this, the month of release, they have given pathways to the tokens. I think you're still going to have to be choosy as to who you get taken up, depending on who you get. But let's say that you got 2 or 3 of the Hall of Fame characters. We know you at least got Tori, right? So you get Tori and Brutus. I think both of them are really worth building up. And if you get another somewhere in the mix that uses those new tokens, you really got to weigh out what would be best. But in terms of where does he sit, I'd say any of the older Hall of Fame, unless you have Hall of Fame Slim Jim, maybe Hall of Fame Sean, Kurt with double gear, then you take up Brutus over most all of those, pretty much. All the
Yeah.
rest, that is. Neidhart I still think is better. Maybe it's just my preference and play style. But other than that, I mean, we're talking about the tippy top, not like the
Yeah.
middle.
But I'm a health steal guy and I'm a sub move guy. Like, I am a trickster player at heart. So, like, I think I would take Brutus over Neidhart just from what I enjoy about the game.
Yeah,
And the triple
fair.
boss battle flexibility. So I think Brutus is my
Absolutely.
guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be it for this one. Don't forget, we also have a preview with gears out, so be sure and look for that if you get the gears or just want to see, well, what does that change and how much better does that make him? And keep tuning into Champions Chat. We're going to keep creating helpful content like this and share it with your faction, like, sub, all those things. We'll catch you next time. Bye.